welcome back to Just 5 Minutes. This time around we're taking a look at, actually it's been out ages, but it's Twillio. For those who don't know what Twillio is, it has literally been around for absolutely years. I forget the actual date that I first came across it, but originally it was to do with, I guess, SMS programmable voice. So essentially having a cloud-based communication platform that you can, automatically send SMSs. It did have at the time voice, so you could actually have a incoming number that you could take a voice call, and depending on, say for instance, what button you press, like 1 for this, 2 for that, 3 for that, a bit like the usual sort of call center type stuff. So you could go to different departments, but it could respond to those events. And the idea was, that's why it was called programmable voice, programmable SMS, because you could, from different programming languages, C# being one of them, but not limited to that, but you could actually, write code to react to those things. But it's grown quite tremendously over the last few years. Certainly, I'm sure in no small part the fact that Microsoft bought them a few years back too. But they're operated on their own. They've kept going, and they've got a very strong set of tools. In fact, that's why I'm doing this Just 5 Minutes, is because I've been using virtual numbers. Okay, so a quick aside was I used something called on-off on an Android. I think it's on Apple as well, but where you can have a second number. You can turn it on and off. It's a virtual number. It's great. It's perfect. It was about, in UK money, it was about, I don't know, £5 a month or something, which is pretty good. But what I ended up doing, and this has been around in Twillio for a while, is you can have a number. So you can go and register one or more. You can have as many as you like. And those numbers can be mobile based or landline based, etc., etc. So you can get a number and off you go. Now, the reason I looked at it, I thought, well, I wonder if there's a cheaper way of doing it, given the time and maybe some more clever ways of doing things. So I had to look, and again, in UK money, I can get a number for 80 pence. I don't know what that is in US dollars, probably what, 92 cents maybe or something. But either way, I can get a number, and that gives me an inbound number. Now, on its own, it won't do anything. It's not like the on-off application or a true virtual number. It's just a number. But the great thing, and that's why Just 5 Minutes is here, is there's some really quite interesting things. There's lots, too much to go through right now. I could write some code to do things, to respond to text going to that number or voices going to that number. But there's something called Studio, and I'm looking at it on the screen, and I'll probably do a video for this because it's actually really quite useful. Basically, you can build a workflow, and it's literally like just building a diagram. You can say, I've got mine default call. So if a call comes in, it will forward privately to my own number. So the source caller doesn't see any of the destination numbers, so it can just forward it to me, and I can have that happen at certain times, on certain dates, and all sorts of different conditions. And the same goes for text. If somebody sends a text to that virtual number, I can say, thank you for contacting me, I'll respond when I can, or something like that. So it can send a message back to the source caller, but also it can then forward, again, privately, that message onto my own phone number. So keeping it completely anonymous. That's just a very small bit of what you can do. But again, you build it up in a very visual workflow, conditional sort of basis, and it can do a lot more than that. There's so many things that it can do. It can respond with voice calls and goodness knows what. But it's quite an amazing set of tools. There's so much to go through with what Twilio's got to offer these days. Not even mentioning about the fact that there's bots involved and things like that as well. But that's what I've got this time around, is Twilio. I'll put some links in the show notes Yeah, it's certainly worth a look for playing around as a developer with communications. So until next time, we'll leave it there.